My wife and I, we voted for Hillary, and that didn't work out. I don't know if you guys got the news. That did not. That pony did not place. We tried. We tried. Everyone in my neighborhood is sad, and they're hoping he fails. I'm not. I'm rooting for him because I live here. That's my reason for rooting for him. I hope he doesn't do all the crazy stuff he said, but I'm rooting for him because it's weird to root against the president of the country you live in. That's like rooting against your parents. And then coming home and being surprised the fridge is empty. That's like, yeah, you booed Mom and Dad enough, and now there's no Sunny D. How do you feel about it? I'll be honest, I'm still nervous. I'm nervous. Yeah, I'm nervous. Because historically, nothing good has ever happened when the rednecks are happy. I'm not saying that can't change in the next 4 years, but in our history, that's never been the case. In our history, anytime there's a bunch of people going, woohoo! That's followed by centuries of the rest of us going, we are so sorry. Those people were out of line. I apologize. They are no longer in charge. We're so divided. I can feel it this year. Everyone just picked a side and went, ugh. Doesn't matter who you voted for, we all just look at each other like, there's one of them. Look at his stupid face. His stupid face, yeah. It's so weird. I blame the internet. I blame Facebook, social media. I don't think we're all supposed to know each other. I don't think we're all supposed to be connected. I don't think that was ever the plan. Because it ruined things. You can't have acquaintances anymore. Remember acquaintances? They're people you kind of knew. And that was it. His name's Rich. He works at the hardware store. We talk about sports. And that is all you knew about Rich. And it was fine. And that's all you needed to know about Rich. But no more. Now you got to be friends with Rich on Facebook. And you're like, oh, my God. Rich is in the Ku Klux Klan. I had no idea. I thought he just loved the Chargers, but no, there's more. And he's a high-ranking member. He's wearing a purple robe. He's not a foot soldier. He's doing their bookkeeping. This was unexpected. So weird. I did some adult things this year. I did do that. I fixed a toilet at my house, which I'm really proud of. Thank you. Yeah, most people are like, who cares? Well, you don't know enough about me, all right? I grew up without a dad, and I've rented my entire life, okay? You don't fix things when you rent. Let me tell you homeowners about that. You don't fix things when you rent. You work around them until the lease is up, and then you go rent a new place with a working whatever that is. That's how it works. But my wife she didn't grow up that way. So I came home from the road, and she's like, the toilet's hissing. And I'm like, okay, well, we got 3 more months. And then we'll find a place without a hissing toilet. And she goes, you gotta go fix it. And well, why me? That's sexist. Why do I have to go? Neither of us know how to use that Stanley tool set your mom bought us for Christmas. Like, why do I have to go? That's not fair. But she's like, you got it. So I went in there. And by the way, it wasn't a bowl issue. Any idiot with forearms can fix a bowl issue. I was working in the tank, all right? That's the motherboard of the toilet. People make a living off of working in the tank, all right? They go to community college for a couple years to learn how to work in the tank. That's just not anybody off the street messing around in the tank in there. I don't know if you flipped a tank open recently. How archaic is that business in there? Has that ever been updated? They just made one invention on the toilet tank and like, yeah, we're good forever. That'll be good. That ought to work for the rest of the time. I looked in there. It looked like an erector set from the 50s. That's what it looked like in there. Or it reminded me of that board game Mousetrap. Remember Mousetrap? That's what's in there. You hit the lever, a marble comes down, Jolly Green Giant flies over, a flap opens up. I couldn't make sense of it. I'm just staring into the tank, and the worst part is I can see my own dumb face in the reflection in the bottom of the tank. It's staring back at you, and I'm hoping for like a Disney moment, like maybe the water will ripple away. And there's my dad staring back at me like, adjust the float, son. And I'm like, oh, thanks, Dad. And then he ripples away. Yeah, that didn't happen. I had to go on YouTube. That's how I fixed it. I had to go on YouTube I had to watch a video someone else's dad made so I could fix my toilet. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for playing. I did spend a lot of the pandemic working on myself. I think a lot of people did that. I don't know if you guys can tell I'm trying to stand up straight. I started working on my posture because I got an ad on Instagram that was asking me if I was slouching too much. I was just scrolling. They're like, are you slouching right now? And I looked in the mirror, and sure enough, I'm like this. And I'm like, how closely are you watching me? But what they were trying to do is sell me these rubber bands that go around your shoulders, and they make you, you know, stand like a guy that you hate. You know these dudes that just come into a room all shoulders and Adam's apple everywhere they go? No one likes that guy. His name's usually Trevor or something. You know the guy. He runs a CrossFit gym. I don't know if this is hitting too close for anybody. Just come on. So I almost bought these rubber bands that make you stand like a Trevor. But I didn't, because I'm like, I have mental strength. I can just remind myself to stand up straight. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been standing up straight. Hey, you know what I learned? Standing up straight hurts my back. Like right now, this is very uncomfortable. Right where all the bones meet, pain. You know what feels good? This right here. This right here has never hurt me once. Never once have I been like this going, ooh, we gotta straighten out. I think this is where we're supposed to be. You know who I think had it right? That dude in the middle of the evolutionary chart. You know what I'm talking about? The cavemen. On one end, there'd be a guy crawling, and at the other end, a Trevor just walking all upright. But if you look in the middle, there's just a guy with like a healthy slouch. I think that's where we're supposed to be. In fact, if you see a guy with this slouch, this is a good guy right here, all right? Befriend this guy. This guy will pick you up from the airport, okay? He'll be early. He'll have Starbucks ready. This is a good guy. This dude, he will try to date your girlfriend when you're gone on that trip. Not a great guy. I think I'm just gonna accept my curved spine, because I'm body positive. I love the body positivity movement. I'm not gonna live up to Instagram standards of spinal cords. Mine has a bit of a hitch in it, and I'm gonna love it. I love the body positivity movement. If you guys don't know what the body positivity movement is, that's where your body kind of sucks, but you love it anyway. What a great movement. Why would you hate your body? You love it. That's the one you got. You're like, yeah, but that guy's got a better one. Yeah, well, that guy sucks. You got what you got. You might as well love it. I wish body positivity was around sooner. I could have used it when I was a chubby kid growing up wearing a t-shirt in the pool. I could have used it then. I could have used body positivity then. I thought I looked slim, and you know I didn't. That was the chubbiest I ever looked. I would just come out, the shirt would be hugging my voluptuous curves. Not anymore, I'm body positive. I was at the beach last week, I took my shirt off. I don't care if my nipples don't match. I'm out there. Body positivity. My only knock on the body positivity movement, and I think it will evolve over time, but I hope one day body positivity can move north to include the face. I don't know if you guys have noticed, body positivity seems to cut off right around here. Right around here. Here down, you gotta love your body. That's your body. From here up, oh yeah, you gotta fix that. And you're like, why? It's connected. You're like, no, it isn't. Don't mess with your face, you guys. Your face is beautiful. That's your face. Two people came together, they had an intimate moment, and this is the receipt. I feel like more people should cheer at that, but everyone's always like, yeah, but my parents were pretty ugly. If I want to smooth out some of these dents and divots, I will. I don't know, man. Life was good before the pandemic for me, anyway. 2019 was a great year. 2019 was the first year I started to feel like an adult. I was, in 2019, I was 32, and I was like, it's time, you know? I was feeling like an adult. I bought a couch that year. It was a big year for me. I'm not saying I never owned a couch before, I'm just saying I never paid for one before, all right? It's my first time purchasing a couch. It was a big year. I also paid taxes that year. Never did that before. First timer. And I'm not trying to say I was a tax cheat. I always filed my taxes like a responsible citizen, but all the other years, the government was like, whoa, looks like you need this. In fact, here's a little extra. We're worried about you, you know? 2019 was the first year they asked me for money, and just like that, I'm now a Republican.
That's how that works. First 31 years, bleeding heart liberal. We gotta help everybody. Until they ask me for money, and I'm like, well, you guys gotta pick yourselves up by your bootstraps. You can't be pulling the wagon for everybody. That's my favorite joke, because it's for everybody. That's a bipartisan tax joke right there. Everyone can enjoy it. One side's like, oh, that's cute, he's being ironic, and the other side's like, he's seeing the light. Gets how it works now.
So we go in there, we talk about all sorts of things. We talk about depression. I think there's different levels of depression. I don't think that gets talked about enough. Like, I have what I like to call a healthy level of depression. You know, right in the middle, right here. Just a good amount, just enough to keep me humble and likable, you know? You ever meet someone who could use a little depression? You know what I mean? Those annoyingly positive people. Every day's an opportunity. And you're like, he could use a dash. You know? Not a lot, just a pinch. Just a parking ticket on a rainy day. Just something to bring them down a little. I have a healthy level of depression. Like, I would never kill myself, but I would like to die naturally soon. I think that's the right amount, you know? Like, if I was on a flight, it was going down, I'd scream, but I wouldn't be the loudest. I'd scream enough so no one around me got suspicious, you know? I'd give it a healthy, you get it, yeah? Damn. It's good to get to know yourself. Because I didn't know so much about myself. Like, I used to make fun of millennials until I did a Google search and realized I am one. And then I pulled back hard. I was like, oh, they're all right. Come on, you guys. Why don't you take it easy? That's exactly who I am in a nutshell. I'll make fun of a group of people until I realize I am that group of people. And I'll be like, come on, you guys, why don't you back off a little bit? Be a little more supportive. If I did have to pick on millennials, I think our biggest issue is that we're too self-aware. We know exactly what's wrong with us and why, except we're not getting any better. We just know, and we're very open with telling you. Too soon, too. I'll just meet somebody, hi, I have anxiety. And you're like, that is way too soon, all right? That is for tomorrow. That's if we see each other again tomorrow. But they don't even let you chime in. They just jump in like, I have anxiety because when I was 8, my brother locked me in a closet and kept me there all weekend. It's like, all right, well, what are you doing about that? Nothing. I'm telling you so you can work around it. And you're like, fair enough. All right. But I guess I'm the same. Like, I found out in therapy that I have anxiety. I didn't know that. I thought I was just being polite all these years. You guys ever confuse politeness with anxious? That's what I've been doing my entire life. I had no idea until I was in therapy, and she was like, give me a public setting. And I was like, all right. Like, when I'm on a plane and we're deboarding, I count the rows. And in my head, I'm like, all right, when that lady gets up, I'm gonna get up. I got my bag over there. Don't forget that bag's over there. Oh, my wife's bag is over there. Don't forget that. And at that point, my wife would be like, is everything okay? Are you all right now? And I'm like, shut up. Are you ready? You need to be ready. And she's like, what is happening right now? And I'm like, it's our turn. There's no time. We gotta go. And I do that because I don't want to take half an extra second getting my bag down because maybe someone behind me will punch me in the back of the head. Because that's how I feel. When I'm deboarding a flight and there's someone in front of me and they're like, is my bag there or there? I'm behind them going, I think we get to kill him, right? I think we get to end this dude right now. And I don't want to be a victim in a scenario that I've created. And for all these years, I thought that was me being polite to my fellow man by getting out of the way. That's anxiety. That means someone yelled at me when I was 4 when they should have hugged me. And somehow 30 years later, that manifested into, I can't be in anyone's way, you know? Ridiculous. I have all sorts of things. Anxious. I'm hyper-aware. That's a new one. I thought that was a good thing. Hyper-aware. Know what's going on in your blind spots, right? Isn't that a good thing for driving? You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Got another dead deer over there, you know? Almost missed that dead deer hiding in the corner. No, hyper-aware. I notice it all the time. Here's an example of my hyper-awarity.
My wife and I were walking in our neighborhood, and as we were walking, we were going to cross the street, but we were crossing the street diagonal. And as we're crossing, I noticed there's a woman walking her dog, and I did the geometry, and I realized by the time we get to the other side, we're just going to awkwardly be next to her. Just show up right next to her, and I'm like, we're not doing that. So I called an audible in the middle of the street. I'm like, we are just walking that way now. So now my wife and I are just walking up the middle of the street like two idiots. And she's like, what's happening right now? I'm like, not now, all right? This is where we are walking. And I realized we were coming to a T intersection. And at the other side of the street, there was a cafe with a table, and two guys were having lunch. And I realized we're just going to end up in front of their table. They're going to look up. What if we make eye contact? I'm going to have to say something. I'm going to have to go, the weather, and then walk off. And like an idiot, I actually explained that scenario to my wife. And she goes, oh my God, you're a lunatic. And I was like, you see, sometimes it's good to keep feelings on the inside.